Chapter 8. The Secret Rooms. Icy water dripped from the cave ceiling, jolting Vanis from his slumber. His chest tightened, his hand felt numb, as an icy cloud formed his breath. Glancing around, Vanis' eyes widened, as he realized he was in a cave. Looking down, he noticed he was sitting on a bed with a desk in the middle. Muttering under his breath, "What is going on here?" But he noticed the desk was white and in a different location than the last cave. Valis rushed over, hoping to find some notes. His heart sank when all he saw was knife marks carved into the desk, with chilling messages. "You are sentenced to die here. I lost so much. Why can't I go back home? This world will consume you, take everything away from you that you love. It's so cruel. We have no control. We aren't meant to be here. Why are we here?" Breathless, Vanix examined the style of handwriting. It appeared that different people wrote their sentences. As he breathed again, he pondered how many people come to this place, how many survived, and how many ever returned home. He was wondering why he was sent back here after a short while of being back home. Gazing down at the ground, he lowered his head, contemplating the struggles of those who carved those thoughts into the desk. In the corner of his eye, he noticed a drawer in the desk. Rushing towards it, he smiled when he found another parchment rolled up. Vanis quickly opened and immediately went to the end to see if there was a name he recognized, and, to his relief, it was Val who wrote it. Sitting on his bed, he read the letter in detail, and it read, "To whoever who reads this letter, you have likely read my previous letters. You may have been here for days, months, or even years. I am certain why I continue writing these letters. It has been many years since I lost count of how many letters I wrote and the advice I've given. I have little to say now. I believe I keep writing to connect in some way with the others from my real home, attempting not to forget where I'm from. As I write, I have noticed that details of my home on Earth are becoming vaguer with time, and I'm finding myself forgetting where I'm from. Writing is the only way to make me forget less. Thank you for reading this. You are helping me not to forget, even though we'll never speak. One piece of advice I haven't shared concerns this room. You'll notice it's very similar to the other caves you've been in, that consist of a bed, a table, and nothing more. This room is a safe haven, where you have a fighting chance to focus, rest, and do what you need before you exit the cave and enter the location the game chooses. Usually, it will be the last place you were before returning to Earth, but not always. So, make sure you don't leave this cave until you're ready, and no sooner, as you don't know where you'll be or who or what you will see once you leave the cave. Safe travels, Val." After Vanis finished reading the letter, he paused, looked around the icy cave. Focusing on his feelings, he felt rested and decided to leave the cave. Before standing up, he carefully put Val's letter in his pocket. Writing for Val reminded him of Earth. For Valis, holding the letter brought him comfort, reminding him he's not alone here, and people do survive here like Val. So, Valis put the letter in his pocket before exiting the cave. The next thing he saw when his eyes opened, to his relief, was back in Salantis' tent. He heard footsteps and Salantis appeared from the tent entrance and said, "We must leave now." Valis let out a sigh and muttered under his breath, "Fine." As Valis started to walk past Salantis, Salantis grabbed Valis by the arm. As Valis' gaze went to Salantis quickly, Salantis said, "Before you go, I want to show you how to use the Gamelit more." Salantis pressed and held a button on the Gamelit. As the map appeared, areas around it started to have different shades of red. You see, there are areas that are darker red. These are areas that are dangerous and mean sudden death for you. So, make sure you keep looking back at this map to avoid these areas. Santos pressed another button. A marker appeared. Here, this is the place you should go. These people will help you learn survival skills that will aid your survival. This is all I can do for you now. I will escort you out of the end of the forest, past my camp, and then you're on your own. Now we must leave. With that, Santos and Vanis exit the camp. As they walked by Santos' people, Vanis could hear whispers, mutters, and every time Vanis looked at them, they would either immediately move their gaze or cowered a bit. Vanis walked to Santos' side and spoke. Why do your people seem off from me? Did I do something? Santos spoke, his gaze fixed straight ahead. My people are wary of people from your world. Not many are as helpless and innocent as you. Some of your people have hurt mine. So, this is another reason I want you gone. Santos stopped and returned to Vanis, staring sternly at him. He spoke. Now, this is where I leave you. And I'm sorry I can't help you anymore. Best of luck. With that, Santos turned and headed back to his people without looking at Vanis. Vanis watched as Santos was out of view, turned his gaze forward, staring straight ahead into the open, wide forest. With that gaze, Vanis took a deep gulp. Alentra's gaze was fixed on Olnis, who wore a half-white and half-blue mask. Olnis demanded, You need to gain the boy's trust, whatever it takes. But, in the meantime, I would like to have a little fun with the Ut boy. Isn't it? Go find the boy. With that, a blue light from behind lit up from the shadows and disappeared. Alentra gasped and shouted back, Isn't will kill the boy. What have you done? Olnis laughed. Well, if he dies, there's one less Ut boy to worry about. Alentra commented, Xanthus will not be happy if he dies. Olnis responded, I don't care. Alentra scoffed, and with that she turned, clicked her fingers and transformed into eagle, flying out of the stone bricked room. That's the end of the chapter, and before I get into discussing about what the chapter is about and where I plan to go, without giving spoilers, I do want to mention one thing. In the last few days, probably a week, I've been posting on social media, trying to get people to read my fantasy novel called The Swords and the Forgotten Marys, in hopes they will leave 100% honest review. And I'm getting absolutely no response, maybe just one. So, if you listen to me to speak at the end, you're probably liking the story and interested in what I have to say. So you are the people who I want you to read my novel. I hope if you finish the novel, you actually will leave 100% honest review. Obviously, there's no pressure to do it. I'm not going to be chasing if you don't leave a review. If you really don't want to, that's perfectly fine. But if you really want to help me out, leave an honest review, as my story is a lot better than it seems, as I only have one 5-star review as of this recording. So, if you're interested to finally understand and read The Swords of the Unforgotten Marys, as I have mentioned this in practically all the episodes to date, the link will be in the description of this podcast. And download the free book, and if you finish the book and you want to go the extra step to support me, leave 100% honest review. I generally mean 100% honest. If there's negatives you want to say, just all I say, just please give details as why you didn't like something. That's all. So yeah, that's a chapter. Again, I know where the story's going to go, so I'm just progressing it forward. This isn't going to be a very short story. It's going to be long. I don't know how long it'll be before you actually know where it's going to go. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm just writing as I go. This is based on my first draft, as I mentioned before. But I do know where it's going to go. So basically, yeah, I'm just progressing the character along. And hopefully he'll eventually be less wrinkly. And then get a bit more exciting with more action and so. Because it's kind of It's just still very much a build up, and it's going to be a build up for quite some time. But yeah, so that's what's so far. Regarding my writing, I suppose, and kind of just, I have a lot of one off projects that I'm working on. Projects, I think mainly I'm kind of now just focusing on trying to get people to sign up my newsletter, and to do that, they'll get my free book, The Souls of Forgotten Memories. Which I would prefer, if you're listening to this, to leave a review, then sign up my newsletter. I love you to do both. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to do both, but reviews matter more because I only have one 5-star review. And my book looks atrocious because of that, and I think it's a lot better book than that. But being a newbie author, no one knows my stories. So I don't know if you're interested as well. Definitely, if this sounds like something you might like, definitely sign up to my newsletter. Something I'm working on the next few months. I'm basically trying to build up my newsletter, give free copies of my Souls and Forgotten Memories, and sign up my newsletter, and hopefully kind of like, as here I'm speaking now, give a story of my writing, what I'm doing. It's a lot more better than if you're just buying a book, you don't know anything about the author or what the author's doing or what they plan to write in the future, or what even interests or like side projects they're working on. So in my newsletter, I'm basically be talking about my writing and what I plan to do, and sending updates on new releases and so on. So, but trying to get people on the side of my newsletter, I am cross promoting with various artists similar to my genre. So basically fantasy, science fiction, lit or no romance. In these cross promotions, what we do basically is we all sign up to one promotion, and there'll be one page of all the author's books, and we just give a link in the newsletter, and basically readers could click on the link and go to that page to see all the author's books, and if there are any book they're interested in, they will sign up to the author's newsletter for the free book. So potentially you could find loads of books that interest you and get them free, but it would mean each book you get for free, you will need to sign up to that author's newsletter. So when I'm doing on my newsletters, I'm sharing this page. My book will be in that page. So when other authors are sharing their newsletters, their readers might sign up to my newsletter in return for my free book. So if this is something you're interested in, to see these cross promotions and maybe get new books to read, I definitely recommend signing up to my newsletter, as I will be sending these emails over the next few weeks of all the promotions I'm participating in. Everyone's a win-win. Readers get new reads and authors get new readers. It's a great idea, and it's a good way to get more seen, and that's kind of why I'm doing it. I think everyone wins in these kind of promotions. So if it's something that you're interested in, I definitely highly recommend signing up to my newsletter, as I'll be doing these cross promotions for the next, at least for a few weeks, probably a few months, maybe even to the end of this year. I don't know. It really depends on how well it goes and that's basically what I'm doing, in hopes to get people to actually read my book and to look forward to my second book of The Swords of the Unforgotten Memories. As at the moment, I haven't heard an inkling if anyone liked it besides that one person who left a 5-star review. I'm eagerly waiting for people to read my book, to provide feedback, or even if you listeners, as usual, I'm dying for people to provide feedback on my stories, if you're liking it, what you don't like about it, so I can prove. Anyway, that's all I really have to say for the moment. If you're liking the story, please let me know. Like I said, the best way to contact me is probably going to my website or sign up my newsletter and talk to me there, or through my social medias. I love you to follow my social medias, but probably the best way is reaching me is probably website via newsletter. I love to hear feedback, and I love to know if you like the story or not. And yeah, I just want to know if you like the story or not, and what elements you like, and so on. So if you're interested. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good day.